In everyone's life, one has to fulfill three fundamental goals: marry, build a house, and make their own pizza. And if one hasn't done that up to that point, they've led a sad life. But why should it be complicated when I can show you how to make this amazing pizza crust with your own self-made pizza sauce? It's packed with flavor, easy to make, and a great conversation piece. So let's get cooking. Okay, so I have to be honest, this whole making a pizza thing will be easy, but it will take a few hours. And by hours I mean a day. Yes, a day. But that's just for the pizza dough, and making this won't be that difficult. In fact, it's the most satisfying thing you can create. You chuck in a few ingredients, mix it together, and that's it. And in the end, you will be rewarded with a fantastic meal. So to get started, we're going to chuck into a bowl about a package of yeast, a nice spoonful of honey, or some kind of sugar to get that yeast kicking on, some salt, and some warm water. And then of course we're going to mix all the ingredients together until they're well combined. And if you're smarter than me, you'll use a whisk for this. But anyway, once everything is nicely dissolved and mixed together, we'll throw in about 3 cups flour in the bowl and start mixing. Now preferably I start using a wooden spoon, just to start with the combining, and then later resort to me mitts. Many of you might have a kitchen machine that can help you, but to me, there's nothing more satisfying than putting your hands into the dough and kneading the hell out of it. It's just so satisfying. And mainly because I'm a poor bastard and don't have one myself. So when that's done, we're putting the pizza dough into a bowl full of olive oil, moisten the dough with the said oil, put a hot and wet, wrenched out kitchen cloth on top of it, and let it rest for a day. And while we wait, we'll make the pizza sauce, which I'll be making out of the tears of my enemies. Or just use regular ingredients. So in a small pot, we're going to throw in some freshly cut garlic, give it a quick stir around, and by everything that is holy, don't burn that. Burnt garlic is the worst you can do. Then after a minute, we'll throw in some tomato paste. The reason I'm using this is because I want to pack in some extra flavor and intensity to it. So when it's nicely combined, we're going to throw in the obligatory herbs: oregano, basil, pepper, salt, and a wee bit of sugar, and mix them all nicely together. So at this point you might be asking yourself, hey, why can't I use some store-bought pizza sauce? No. Bad. No. Naughty. If you're going through the effort of making your own pizza crust, you're also going to make your own sauce. Because you are the sauce boss. Well, technically that's a blues player from the swamps of Florida, and contrary to belief, not some YouTube bro. So when that's done, we're going to pour in the pureed tomatoes in the pot, stir it for a while, and the last herb will be a single bay leaf. And now my secret ingredient, and by that not secret anymore, the rind of a Parmesan block. So when we're done with that, we'll cover the pot and let it gently simmer on a low heat for about 40 minutes. And with the patience we've now had, we can now unveil our pizza dough, and it should look like this. It's puffed and inflated. Anyway, we're going to lay some flour over the kitchen table and cut it into 2 pieces. Now to make the dough, we're going to throw in a bit of flour on it, gently pat it, and start stretching the dough. And when you stretch it, you're going to take one end, lay that towards the middle, take the other side, and put it also into the middle. And you'll repeat that step once more. You'll tuck in all the edges of the dough underneath it until it starts to look like a ball, like so. And then you'll do the same process with the other pieces. We're nearly complete, so the last step is to put the pizza dough into a bowl and let it rise for another hour. While it's waiting, our pizza sauce is pretty much done to this point, and in the end, all the ingredients are well combined, the whole kitchen smells delightful, and at that point you can start preparing the pizza. So to make the crust, you'll lay the bowl on a lightly floured baking sheet and start by pressing in some holes in the dough with your fingers. The idea is to get some air in it so it stays fluffy but still crusty. And you'll do that until it starts to look like this. You can of course create one that's less flat, but this is the way I enjoy it. So now we start with the toppings. And I can't stress enough not to use so much ingredients. Don't try to drench your pizza with it. You want to keep it subtle, especially when it comes to using the pizza sauce. I'm gonna put on some nice slices of mozzarella on top. Use some freshly grated Parmesan. So with that done, we're gonna take the sucker and bake it in a preheated oven of 200 degrees Celsius or 400 degrees Fahrenheit and bake it for 15 minutes. Now if you have a pizza oven or pizza stone, buy everything that is holy and great, use it. But in the end it comes out like this, and it brings a tear in my eye. I love making my own pizza. It's a satisfying feeling having created something from scratch. And how will I top the pizza? I'm gonna be putting on some fresh rucola on it, a few shavings on Parmesan, and that's it. Or why not just make a simple mushroom pizza? And in the end, the pizzas were exciting and delicious to make. I highly recommend doing this. I mean, it's not only something you can be proud of, but also reward yourself with something that good. Sure, it can be time consuming, but it's easy and fun to make. So, I hope you enjoyed this recipe, and I'll see you soon when I'm back in the kitchen. Ollie in the kitchen. Until then, take care.